welcome back to another video. I am with my girls, Smelly and Yasmin Smelly.
That's what I call Ellie, guys, and she just stole my nickname first.
So what was your nickname going to be then?
I didn't have a nickname, I just have my real name.
And we're also with Pommy because this is a little girl chat and Pommy is a girl. Really? We've just ordered food, it's all coming now. Yasmin's lucky because her sushi has already arrived. Ellie's eating watermelon, which I'm like, we're trying to have like a girls' night in and she's eating watermelon.
Yeah.
We're on a diet.
Healthy goals.
And I'm eating a freaking gluten-free donut. But for today's video, we are partnering with TAMPAX now. I think it was like last week. We went onto Instagram stories and we asked you guys to ask us all of your questions relating to periods, female hygiene, all of your questions that you want to ask, but you're too shy to ask. Or like, you know when you just want to be anonymous?
Yeah.
So we let y'all.
We're gonna give you that T on the P.
We've gone through all the questions you guys sent us and we just picked the ones that have been asked the most. So we're gonna just get into it. ASAP. Rocky. How often should you change your tampon?
So to make sure that you stay fresh, it's advised that you change your tampon every 4 to 8 hours. You might have to change it a bit more if you have a heavy flow, but never leave your tampon in for more than 8 hours. So like, even if you think that you don't have a heavy flow, no longer than 8 hours.
Can you sleep with a tampon in?
Okay, so I'll answer this one again because it kind of links to what I just answered. So you can sleep with a tampon in. It's very normal to sleep with a tampon in. However, like I said before, don't leave a tampon in for more than 8 hours.
So don't sleep too much.
Question number 3. Do you have period pains?
Not really. You know, a little bit of crampage, like, ooh, but I'm not like,
No,
oh
the
my
first
God,
day of
I'm
your
dying.
period is just like,
uncomfortable.
but then the rest of the days is cool, so.
The thing that I do get is like so moody. My mood is just like the worst. I'm like really ratty.
So if you think they're just annoying and moody normally,
you don't want to see me for those 7 days of the month. I am like really moody. I don't really want to speak to anyone. I get really emotional for no reason.
You're like, ah!
periods are great.
Yeah. Love being a woman.
What did you do when you first started your period?
That was a very long time ago. And I don't really remember it that much.
Yeah,
But
when was yours? When
I
did
do
you
remember I was in
start?
primary school.
That's
year 6.
really young.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think a teacher called my mum and then my mum came into school and then like taught me how to use a period.
It's like, Yasmin.
Yasmin. I was 14 when I started my period and I remember I was like at home and I remember just going to my mum and telling her and then my mum was just like, oh, you're a woman.
How would you use a tampon for like the first time?
Okay, so if you're using a tampon for the first time, I would definitely recommend using a TAMPAX Pearl compact. The reason being is because they have a plastic outer coat, which is a easy anti-slip grip applicator. I'm gonna open one of these and like give you a closer look so you guys know what I'm talking about. So to give you a closer look, you can see that this has a smooth plastic outer coat, which just makes the application a lot more easier and more comfortable. And then what I also want to show you, which is very important, is once you pull this, you hear that click. Did you guys hear that? You push it and it comes out very, very simply. So once you've removed the tampon from the applicator, you will see that at the very top there is like a blue braid. Now what this is a leak guard braid, and this will ensure that you do not leak. So you don't have to worry if you're wearing white jeans, you don't have to worry and be like, guys, can you check behind me? Because this will help you ensure that you don't leak.
So, you know, guys, once you're on your period, the tampon's in, you might still get the period pains. So someone asked, how do you deal with them?
This is an interesting question for us three here because Yasmin doesn't take medication. If you have really bad period pains, what would you do?
If I was to recommend, I'd say like have some hot tea.
What about like a hot water bottle?
And a hot water bottle to keep
Yeah.
your stomach,
So nice.
to keep your stomach from hurting.
Yeah.
I'd recommend like either a painkiller depending on how like bad the pain is,
Yeah.
or like a hot water bottle tends to like get rid of it.
At what age do you start using a tampon?
It's kind of like your own personal preference. I used a tampon for the first time when I was 17 or 18, I can't really remember. But I had friends that used tampons since they started their period. So it's like really just what you prefer.
How did you talk to your parents when you had your first period?
So I remember being like, it being kind of awkward and I was in the toilet and I was kind of like sitting, cringing to myself. Super random, like, what do I say? And I remember just feeling like really like cringe inside. And then like after about 40 minutes, I like just went out the toilet. I was like, oh mum, I've started my period. And it was like not awkward at all. And then she was like, oh okay, no problem. Told me what to do, and then like we went to the shop and bought some period stuff.
I think in your head, and because you're like a little bit younger, you do think, oh my god, so cringe, like what am I gonna say?
Yeah.
But you got to think like whoever you're speaking to, whether it's your mum or even if it is like your dad, just think like everyone knows the period.
Do you think it's better to use sanitary pads or tampons when younger?
When I was younger, I like straight away just like use pads. I think it's like even depends like what your mum uses. I know it's weird, but like she'll recommend you like, oh yeah, use this or like whatever she's got. So I just was with pads. But then when I was older, like a bit older, like my friend was like, I went to go swimming. I was like, well I can't my period. She was like, oh why don't you like start using? And I was really scared. I was like, oh no, like that's really scary. She was like, babe, like just use it. Like let's go swimming, whatever. I think that's why I started like using them. Just personal preference. It doesn't matter. It's not like one. You have to start with one and then end with another. It's like literally whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it's just personal preference. It's like not a right age to start using one compared to the other. It's just down to like whatever you feel comfortable wearing.
Donuts.
Donuts.
They're yours.
Wow, no messages ever. How sad. Can you swim with tampons in?
Yeah, so like I just said, like that's why I started using them, because my friend was like, girl, let's go swim. I was like, hun, on the pee. Hun. So yeah, you can. It's like completely safe, and when you're obviously in the water, it stops the flow, so it's all good.
Perfect if you're going on holiday and you start your period, because just put a tampon in, you can go swimming, you can go tanning, like no one's gonna see like a pad there or anything, so like it's just a really good idea. Okay, so the next question is, do you have to use TAMPAX with panty liners?
Obviously if you're wearing a tampon, you don't have to worry about like leakage or whatever, but if you just want to feel like more funky fresh, then you can put on in fresh.
Yes, my burger has arrived!
How serious is toxic shock?
So TSS stands for, like Yasmin said, toxic shock syndrome.
To minimise your risk of getting tampon-related TSS, use the lowest absorbency necessary for your flow, and make sure that you alternate between tampons and pads during your period. If you're worried about this, you can always go and see a doctor.
Last question. What is the difference between pads and tampons?
So pads are absorbent material that you put on your underwear. They can also come with wings, which is like pieces of plastic that sellotape onto your underwear just to keep it secure in place. What these wings do is it prevents leakage.
And the difference, tampons are still made of like absorbent material, but they're like pressed into a cylinder form, so they're like put up inside the vagina, rather than the outside, and they still do the same thing, but they come in loads of different like sizes. So you've got light, regular, super, and super plus, depending on your flow. So yeah, same with pads as well. You can get small, medium, large.
So guys, that is all from us. I hope you enjoyed this video and getting into our brain and picking our brain with all those embarrassing questions that you wanted answered. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and thank you TAMPAX for partnering with us on this video. It was super fun and we enjoyed answering all your questions. Now without further ado, we'll see you all in another video. Bye.